Right. I want to give you guys a quick tutorial on how to simplify square roots. All right, so we've got the square root of 28, and I'm going to show you how it doesn't matter if we use the factor tree approach. It does not matter which factors you use. So let's suppose we start off by splitting 28 into 4 and 7. All right, 4 times 7 is 28. But then we can factor down the 4 into 2 times 2. All right, and now we've got a pair, and we're looking for pairs because this is a square root, and a square is a number times itself. So in this case, factors of 28 are 2 times 2. That's a number times itself. And so when we pair these up, it's the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is just 2. So that goes on the outside of the radical. On the inside of the radical, the 7, because the 7 did not pair up. So we can simplify the square root of 28 as 2 square root 7. All right, the 2 goes on the outside, the 7 goes on the inside because he did not pair. All right, now a second approach for the square root of 28. What if we saw this and we said, oh, well, I know 2 is a factor and 14 is a factor. 2 times 14 is 28. All right, if you're ever stuck and it's an even number, you can always divide by 2 or factor out the 2. Okay, but this continues. 14 splits as 7 and 2, which creates a pair of 2's. And for that pair of 2's, it's really the square root of 4, which is 2, goes on the outside. 7 goes on the inside. And regardless of which approach we take, we end up with the same place, 2 times the square root of 7. All right? Now, let's take a look at another example, the square root of 32. Now, some of you may look at that and say, oh, that's 16 times 2. And that works out well for us because the 16 has factors of 4 and 4. And so we get our first pair, right? 4 times 4. The square root of 16 is 4, right? So that goes on the outside of the radical. What's left on the inside of the radical is the 2. The 2 did not pair up. And so we get 4 on the outside, 2 on the inside. But what if we saw 32 and we split it up differently? What if we went 8 times 4? Well, that works out for us because 8 is 2 times 4. And look at that. We've got a pair of 4's. So we circle our pair of 4's. That goes on the outside. What's left? The 2 stays on the inside. All right. So this is how we can simplify square roots using a factor tree. We write the factors of the number and we look for pairs. Again, pairs because a square root is a number times itself. So we look for groups of 2. And the pair, whatever pairs up, moves to the outside. Whatever does not pair up or does not have a square with it, a partner, stays on the inside.